So my thing is, I understand. I do know that you're very adamant about your perspective, but I think that sometimes you can be a little bit dismissive when people are posing and opposing a different perspective about things. You swiftly dismissed. You said that everything I mentioned about the benefits of marriage, somebody who is outside of marriage can get. No, they cannot. Half
Name
of the
one.
things on the list, like as far as like emotion, what does this say?
Name one.
Religious, listen, religious benefits, religious and cultural benefits, as far as legal and financial benefits, as far as
You can get
having
legal and
security.
financial benefits and religious benefits without being married. I can
No,
be a
you
single
you can't
man
get
in a
the
church. Hold on.
you can't get
I
tax
can be a
incentives,
single
though.
man in my church. Hold on. I
You
can be a
can't get
single man.
you can't get the tax incentives though. You can't get the tax
Absolutely.
incentives.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, you can't.
Absolutely,
No,
you
you
can.
can't.
You can start.
No, you can't.
Well, I'm gonna explain to you how you can. You can start a business with that person, and you both can be 50-50 partners in that business, and then you guys can share taxes that way. You can make a person that you're dating a power of attorney. You can make a trust and put anyone's name on that trust and make them the beneficiary of the trust. So that's not true. There are many ways to have you can have a legal connection with someone without being married. That's false. Give me another one.
Okay, but we're talking about the tax incentives. You didn't say nothing about the tax incentives. They're not the same.
So you're saying, you're basically what you're saying then is the main reason people should get married is to save money on taxes. That's what you're saying.
That's not what it said. You asked the question
Because
about
that's
what
okay. So taxes is the only one. Taxes is the only one, and taxes have nothing to do with how two people relate. Taxes is about the government. But look at what y'all just did. Y'all are talking about taxes right now. We're talking about relationships between men and women, and y'all are talking about taxes.
Clout, you got to let other people answer though, brother. You can't keep dominating the mic. You got to let everybody. So you asked for one and said, I gave you one example, and now you don't even want to accept
taxes. I'll accept the taxes as one. I'll accept that.
Also,
sure. Okay, so if you marry, you'll be able to get tax benefits.
Relationship is married, and marriage is not just about finances. It's not just about taxes.
So give me another one. Give me another example.
Angie said religious as well.
I said religious.
What religious benefits do you get by being married that you can't get by just being a devout member of your church?
If you
because
even
Paul said in the Bible,
Hold on.
Even Paul said better to stay single as I do.
Hold on. You gotta
ask. No, she's trying to
they cannot hear us. They cannot hear us when we talking. Go ahead, Angie.
Go ahead, Angie.
You can't have social and emotional stability outside of certain, like, for example, people that live in a higher class, you can't move, like, for example, you can't move up in certain positions unless you're married. They don't respect you fully unless you're married, because what that tells them is you're able to hold a certain level of commitment, and that skill is transferable. That's just an example of socially how marriage can put you in a better position. We said emotional relationships are not just about the finances and about sex. A relationship is about an emotional connection with somebody. It's about love, and love is something that, love and commitment and faithfulness is something that is very significant when we talk about building something with someone, because family is not just about you two, it's about how it affects the people that are around you. So it has ripple effective benefits that I feel like you're choosing not to acknowledge for whatever reason.
I'm not choosing not to acknowledge it. It's just that to respond to your 2 points, you don't have to be married to have a loving family. That's not true. You don't have to sign paperwork and get a ring and get married to love your partner and to treat them well and treat them with respect. And if you guys have children, you both can love your children without getting married. So that's false. The other example you gave was status. One of the richest people in our country isn't married, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is probably the highest stat as far as businessmen. He's probably one of the highest status you can get as far as business. And Elon is not married. And there are multiple business people who are not married. So this idea that somehow you can't achieve... But he's divorced. That's a perfect example. He's been married 3 times and it still ain't working for him. He's been married and he's also been divorced. So you're proving my point. He's been divorced and he's currently at his highest status that he's ever been. He's currently divorced. This is the highest status he's ever been. His businesses are at the highest value they've ever been, and he's also now leading the Department of Government Efficiency, right? So he's now working in the government as well. This is the highest Elon status has ever been, and he did it while single. So again,
he did do it while single. He's been married throughout his whole entire life for the most part.
I'm saying
He
right
didn't do it while he was
now,
single.
when he's now in the government, which is a higher status level than he was just by being a business owner, this is the highest status he's ever been. He's now a member of government. This is higher than ever, and he's single. So that's false. That automatically disqualifies this idea that you need to be married to reach high status. There are plenty of men in the world that reach high status and are unmarried. So that's false. There are plenty of women that reach high status that are unmarried. Oprah, for example. Oprah is a billionaire. She's unmarried. Like, I could go, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't, like, if you're going to say that this is not factual, what you're saying, sure, you might believe it, but the reality is that there are plenty of people who have happy relationships that aren't married. There are plenty of people that love their children that aren't married. There are plenty of people that have great sex lives that aren't married. There are plenty of people that go to church and have a great relationship with their religious faith and a great relationship with God that aren't married. Paul in the Bible said, Paul literally said, better to stay unmarried as I do. But he said, in the case that you can't control yourself, then it's better to marry than to burn. So even one of the apostles of God literally said, better to stay unmarried. Jesus Christ himself didn't get married. So what are we even talking about?
Let's say for the sake of argument.
So that refutes any type of idea that you need marriage to reach religious status, because the guy that y'all worship didn't get married.
Yeah, but God himself ordained marriage at the same time. So you're speaking.
I didn't say God didn't ordain marriage. I'm just saying that you don't need to be married. To achieve those things.
But you said, what is the benefit? She said religious, and then you tried to say that you tried to use that argument to say that there is no benefit. That doesn't negate that there's still not a benefit.
I'm not saying there's no benefit. I'm saying those benefits are not exclusive to marriage. Therefore, you don't need to be married to get them. You're making the argument that to get these things in life, you should be married. I'm making the argument you can get those same things in life without being married, which is why marriage is failing, which is why people are getting divorced. The question JR posed was, if you're not getting married, why would you be running around dating different people? I'm just explaining why. I'm just answering that question.
I'm explaining the religious aspect of marriage, the benefit. The ultimate benefit to the religious aspect of marriage is that is the ultimate representation of in human form of God.
No, it's not.
Of God being
Priests
married.
Don't get married. Bishops don't get married. Priests don't get married. The Pope doesn't get married. Most religious leaders, actually most of the leaders in faith aren't married. That's false.
Cloud, just because you're speaking over me still doesn't mean my point isn't being made. It is the ultimate representation of the relationship that God is having to man, right? That's what marriage represents.
I disagree with that.
Hold on, wait.
You can disagree, but that's what it says in the Bible. I'm talking just from the religious
between man and woman.
Of it. That's it.
Yeah, specifically between man and woman.
Because those priests aren't supposed to be screwing women. Those priests aren't supposed to be fornicating. Those priests, when they elect to become a priest or something like that, they also elect to be
that's what I'm saying.
So but that's the thing though. But the thing though is that since men and women have to be together, God said y'all need to be married. That was his rule. No. We didn't make that rule up. That was his rule. In order for man and woman to be together, he wants us to be married.
I mean,
so religious does call for man and woman to be married.